So, welcome students. In this session, we are going to study about the summaries in the electromagnetic waves, and we are going to solve some of the questions from the past paper of a NEET, which is coming under the electromagnetic waves. So, if you attend this class, you can able to summarize the topics in electromagnetic waves, and you can know how to apply the formulas of electromagnetic waves and the concepts when you're going for your NEET exams as well. So here we are going to start with the topic electromagnetic waves. It's known that for a region where there are no charges and conduction current, the Faraday's law and Ampere's law take a symmetrical form. EI is equal d pi over dt, B dot di is equal mu naught times epsilon d pi over dt. So here it can be written in a derivation form as well. So simply we can say electromagnetic wave is a wave in which electric and magnetic field are perpendicular to each other and also perpendicular to the direction of propagation of a wave. So here we are going to study about the properties of a magnetic wave. As I said already, the electromagnetic wave will have both fields in it, electric and magnetic. So the first property is variation in both electric and magnetic field occurs simultaneously in case of electromagnetic wave. So we can say they attain their maximum and minimum at the same place at the same time. And the direction of electric and magnetic field are mutually perpendicular to each other and as well as to the direction of propagation of a wave. The electric field vector and the magnetic field vector can be related using the equation C is equal E naught divided by V naught. Here C is representing the speed of a light, E naught and V naught is representing the amplitude of electric and magnetic field. And the fourth property is about the velocity of an electromagnetic wave in a free space. It's known that the electromagnetic wave speed can be calculated using a formula 1 divided by mu naught times epsilon naught, whereas mu naught here is representing the value of permeability, whereas epsilon naught is representing the value of permittivity. So we studied all this in the previous chapters, right? So the fifth property is about the velocity of an electromagnetic wave in a material medium. In a material medium, similarly, like a velocity in a free space, it can be calculated using a formula 1 divided by root of mu times E, where mu and E is representing again the permeability and permittivity, but its absolute value. Okay, now the sixth property is about the superposition. Electromagnetic waves obey the principle of superposition. Superposition is nothing but the interference about the waves, right? Here the next property is about the energy of an electromagnetic wave. Electromagnetic waves carry energy as they propagate through space. This energy is dividedly equal between electric and magnetic field. And the eighth property here is electromagnetic waves can transfer energy as well as momentum to object placed on their path. And here we can say the electromagnetic wave can be called as a light vector because optical effect of electromagnetic wave more significant in an electric field. So that's why it can be calculated using, it can be mentioned as light vector. And the 10th property here is the electromagnetic waves traveling medium. So here we know that the electromagnetic waves do not need any material medium to travel. And the 11th property is about the charge. So the oscillating charge which has non-zero acceleration can produce an electromagnetic wave. Now, we are going to study about what is meant by Hertz experiment. It's known that Hertz experiment is used to represent the value of a frequency of the electromagnetic waves produced, right? So the copper or zinc plates are kept parallel by the 60 centimeter and the metal sphere or slider over the metal rods. It's known that it will have to through 3 centimeter of gap. An induction coil supplies the high voltage of a several thousand volts. So here when we are applying the So here when we are applying the value of voltage, of course, it will produce the corresponding electromagnetic waves. This is just the summary of a Hertz experiment. Now we are moving for the electromagnetic spectrum. Before that, you people can just read this for 2 minutes, then we can go to the next one. So here in this question, you have to select the direction of electric field and the magnetic field respectively. Whereas the plane electromagnetic wave propagation in x direction is given in the question. So here we know that the values of I, J, K is representing the x, y and z coordinate. So here we are just going to calculate the value of E cross B, right? Let me change my pen. So here we are going to calculate only the cross product of the E and B. So the direction of the propagation will be in the x-axis. It's known that. Let us check our given option. So here if we are going to take the option A as I, J, K, here we have minus J plus K. So here we can write 0, minus 1, 1. And in the case of given value, we can, second one, we can write 0, minus 1 and plus 1. So when you are doing the cross product, it's known that I minus 1 plus 1 which will be equal to 0. Simply we can do the B also. So here again I, J, K, the product cross product. So here it's 0, 1, 1 and the y coordinate also 1, 1. So when we are doing this also it will be I 1 minus 1, it is 0. So similarly we can do for a C, I, J, K. So here the given values are, so here again the given values are 0, minus 1 plus 1, 0, minus 1 minus 1. When we are doing this, it's known that it will be equal to I 1 plus 1 which will be 2I. So here we are getting the I coordinate, right? Let us do for the D. So here I, J, K, which will be 0, 1, 1, 0, minus 1, minus 1. So when we are like doing the cross product, I times minus 1 plus 1, which will be equal to 0, right? So from this, we can say the correct answer for the question is option C, right? The next question now. An electromagnetic wave of a wavelength lambda is incident on a photosensitive surface of negligible work function. If M is representing the photoelectron emitted from the surface as a de Broglie wavelength lambda, then which quantity is correctly representing the wavelength T? So here it's known that energy of a photon is equal to work function pi naught plus kinetic energy maximum. So here we can neglect the work function. So the value of kinetic energy will be equal to energy. It's known that the energy here will be equal to h. So here we can say kinetic energy is equal h mu, or else we can say hc divided by lambda. So from this, we can calculate the de Broglie wavelength. It's known that the de Broglie wavelength is equal h divided by root of 2m times Ek in terms of kinetic energy. So here we can calculate lambda square is equal h square divided by 2m times Ek. So here when we are rearranging an equation, the kinetic energy can be written as h square divided by lambda square times 2m, right? So from the equation energy here and the general equation, we can write the correct equation of a given question. So when we are equalizing here, we can write hc divided by lambda is equal h squared divided by lambda squared times 2m. When we are simplifying this, we will get lambda is equal 2mc lambda d power 2 divided by h. So the correct answer for this question will be option C. So now we are moving for the next question. The correct answer for this question is option C here. Yes, because the radio wave is the first one. So I am just writing here like in the order. So it's known that the radio wave will be the first one, and the second one will be the microwave, and the third one will be the infrared rays, and the fourth one will be the visible, then ultraviolet, then X rays, and then gamma rays. Right? This is the order of the electromagnetic waves. So here, when we are checking in this order, option C is correctly representing the correct answer, matched answer here. So option C is correct here. Now, correct, check this question and tell me the answer. What will be the correct answer for this question? Yeah, first let me know like which formula we have to use it. So here we are calculating the amplitude of a oscillating magnetic field, right? So what will be the value of oscillating magnetic field amplitude? It's known that the amplitude of a oscillating magnetic field can be calculated using a formula. C is equal E naught divided by B naught, right? So here E naught is representing the value of electric field amplitude and B naught is representing the value of magnetic field magnitude, right? It's known that the value of the C here is representing the value of 3 times 10 to the power 8 meter per second. So first we can rearrange So first we can rearrange the equation in terms of V naught. So when we are rearranging an equation, we can write V naught is equal E naught divided by C. So here E naught is representing the electric field amplitude, right? So here it's given as 48. So we can write 48 divided by 3 times 10 to the power 8. When we are simplifying this, we will get the answer of 1.6 times 10 to the power negative 7 times t with the unit of t. So here V naught will be represented using a unit of Tesla. It's a known one, right? So the correct answer here will be option T. Now we are moving for the next question. So what will be the answer for this question and what we are calculating here? Here we are calculating the peak value of the magnetic field. So the peak value of a magnetic field can be calculated by using a similar formula like by using a oscillating amplitude, right? C is equal EP divided by BP. So here we are calculating the peak value of a magnetic field, so which will be equal to EP divided by C. So here EP is representing 6 volt and C here is representing the speed of light. So we can write BP is equal 6 divided by 3 times 10 to the power 8. When we are simplifying this, we will get the answer of the correct answer. But here the value of E given here is representing the ERMS value. So from that we have to get the peak value. It's known that the ERMS is nothing but peak value divided by root 2. So here when we are calculating the E naught, the maximum value, we can write this as root 2 times 6 divided by 3 times 10 to the power 8. When we are simplifying this, we will get the answer of 2.83 times 10 to the power negative 8 with the unit of Tesla. So the correct answer here will be option A. Okay, now I'm going to show this question. Like I'm just going to leave this question for you people. You can tell me the answer here for this question. First, let me know which answer, like which formula we have to use here. Yes, it is C is equal. Tell me what formula we have to use it here. Yes, very good. C is equal 1 divided by root of mu naught divided by, so 1 divided by root of mu naught times epsilon naught times, right? So here we can rearrange this equation, or else we can write the C will be equal to E divided by B also, right? So yeah, now tell me what will be the answer. I'm just opening the chat box here. Like you can post your answer, like which option is correct.